I've been intrigued by the Fender Gold Foil Telecasters since they first came out in 2023. One reason is they're a very striking looking guitar. Something about the candy apple burst with the gold foil pickups. The second reason is I've wanted to hear what the gold foil pickups sound like. I live hours from the nearest guitar store, so it's not an easy thing for me to go and try something out for myself. To put things in perspective, the other day someone asked me to ship his guitar to him via FedEx, and I needed to explain that I lived in a rural area and the closest FedEx drop-off point is over an hour away. So needless to say, I buy most of my guitars sight unseen, and I have to do a lot of research before I buy them because I'm buying them online. I saw on eBay a Telecaster Gold Foil guitar loaded body. It was for a great price, and I could not see any damage to the body. I probably should have asked about the electronics. When it arrived at my house, I installed a neck on the body and strung the guitar so I could finally hear for myself what the gold foil pickups sounded like. I had not played one before, but had spoken to several folks that own them, and they're a very devoted group to the guitar. First observation is the loaded guitar body is kind of heavy. Adding another 2-pound neck to it brought it up to almost 9 pounds. I plugged the guitar into an amp and strummed. To my dismay, it kind of sounded bad. It sounded like crap. I mean, really high end without any middle. I thought to myself, this could not be what people rave about. I pulled the control panel off of the guitar. I wanted to see if someone had altered the wiring. Yes, they had. They had installed an Obsidian wiring harness. Obsidian wiring harness or board looks amazing, very well made. It is a solderless board that you plug your wires into, and then there's adjustments for different types of setting. It can handle single coil pickups and humbuckers. If I had had time, I'd have looked at the instructions. I would have realized that the harness was not configured correctly for the pickups, and this is probably the reason for the poor tone I had heard earlier. The gold foil pickups are humbuckers, many humbuckers, but humbuckers nonetheless. The Obsidian harness was set up for single coils. Fender describes the gold foil pickups as Fender Gold Foil mini humbuckers deliver iconic visual flair and distinctive mid-range bite and are inspired by the dazzling aesthetics of those cult classic pickups treasured by blues, rock, and indie musicians alike. So instead of trying to figure out the Obsidian harness, I set it aside for another day and I built a standard humbucker wiring harness. I used two 500K CTS solid shaft pots with a .022 UF capacitor. The harness also has an Oak Grigsby three-way pickup selector switch. The original version of this guitar, when you buy one, comes with a maple neck with ebony fretboard that has a 12-inch radius. Also, the face of the headstock is either painted black for the candy apple burst, which is my guitar body, or white for the white guitar. I would have really liked to have one of the original necks, but I didn't. My neck that I installed is nothing really special. It's a standard Fender modern Telecaster fair of maple and a 9.5-inch radius. The one upside is the neck is a US-made Fender Tele neck. Here are some facts for the guitar that I've not covered so far. The guitar was released in 2023 and is still being made today and onto the Fender website for sale in 2024. The guitar is made in Mexico. I've already described the neck. The body is made of mahogany. New, the guitar goes for $959 or less. Used, the guitar goes for $673 to $842. I didn't understand why the guitar was as heavy as it was until I read the specifications. This is not your usual Telecaster run-of-the-mill ordinary guitar body. It's made of mahogany. After building my own wiring harness and plugging the guitar back into the amp, I have to say that I really like these pickups. They are most definitely not Telecaster-like, but phenomenal sounding pickups nonetheless. Amazing clarity. I now actually really understand why people rave over these.